What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge as we are going to begin a series breakdown of each opponent on the Sooners' upcoming schedule. Before we get started tonight, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, turn on your notifications, like and comment as we are appreciative of all the likes and comments and subscribers that we have, and let's keep it rolling. Tonight we have Brendan with us. If you have not checked it out, he just put a Throwback Thursday article out this last week on the 47-game winning streak. Great article. So check that out on Soonersurge.com. And he's here to join us as well tonight as we break down the Sooners schedule, starting with the first opponent, Labor Day weekend, 11 a.m. kick on ESPN with Arkansas State, guys.
Oh, yeah. Ready to get into it. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 a.m. kickoffs are back early. Not a shock, though. Arkansas State, coached by Butch Jones, kind of familiar somewhat with the Sooners, played them twice during his tenure at Tennessee. Both times OU won those games. The last one was an interesting one, the Knoxville game, kind of a Baker Mayfield classic, his coming out party for the Sooners.
Yeah. Yeah. Quarterback there is a transfer guy who started at Tennessee, correct? JT Shrout, and then went to Colorado. Now he winds up at Arkansas State. And this is a team that really, for about 8 or 9 seasons, was consistently in winning seasons and bowl games under a few coaches that they had. I know Gus Malzahn was there. Hugh Freeze was there. The Blake Anderson guy before he went to Utah State. So they've had some success. JT Shrout really has not had much success. So I know they're hoping that he's going to be the guy that maybe can turn it around for him. But what else about Arkansas State, guys?
I think it's just going to be – this is a big year for Butch Jones, obviously. You see 5-19 in his past 2 seasons. And, I mean, obviously it's Arkansas State, so not the biggest brand, but there's still a standard. You got to win games no matter where you're at. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, OU, not the easiest way to start the season for the Red Wolves, but I will be interested to see how they do the rest of the year.
Yeah, kind of a shock that Butch Jones is struggling that much there in the Sun Belt. But that's, I mean, surprising. They did lose on the defensive side of the ball. They lost the guy to OSU, actually, a cornerback, right? Kenneth Harris is now at OSU. They do have, in looking at kind of their last year, they have 2 strong safeties that are pretty impressive on the defensive side. But let's talk offense first. It seems like they run a pretty fast-paced offense, which OU is going to be very used to practicing against Jeff Lebby's offense. But Hunter, there's a receiver there, right? That's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, Corey Rucker, I think he transferred in from South Carolina, I believe it was. Did not play last year there. Last full year of football, had 826 yards and I believe 9 touchdowns. Kind of the receiver that is on the watch list for Arkansas State. Kind of would think that combo of him and JT Shrout will be a good combo for Arkansas State. Shrout last year, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns on that 1-win Colorado team. It's his I believe his final year of college eligibility. Don't quote me on that. The COVID rules, eligibility still makes it very hard to tell on a lot of guys if they still got that extra year, but he is a redshirt senior with Butch Jones. It's really just, I'm still just kind of shocked with Butch Jones had a decent amount of success at Tennessee. Like, he won games there, like got him in the top 25. And now you're in Arkansas State in the Sun Belt Conference, a conference that for a coach that's had coaching success in even the SEC, you would think would run the conference, but it's just not happening there yet.
Yeah.
I think another thing on the wide receiver, I didn't know this, but he actually started at Arkansas State before he went to South Carolina. So familiar territory in the Sun Belt for him. Coming back, I believe he's close to out of eligibility, but between him and Shrout, they have experience in the SEC. So they've played on bigger stages. So we'll see if they can turn around the offense, because that's really been one of the main struggles that Butch Jones has had. Just hasn't been able to get the offense going.
Yeah, their defense is actually their defense wasn't horrible last year. The offense just didn't help them out at all. From if you look at the stats and the scores of the games, but you're right, Brendan, with the experience that Shrout and Rucker playing in Power Five schools and major conferences, they're not going to walk into Norman terrified or anything like that. On the defensive side, it looks like to me their strength may be the safeties and linebackers, with some depth coming back on the linebacker position. And I think, guys, what do you, as you enter this week one, what is it that's kind of the matchup, I guess you could say, or what are you looking forward to most in this Arkansas State game at 11 a.m. on Labor Day weekend?
Personally, I'm looking forward. Obviously, one of the bigger questions of the offseason has been this unproven wide receiver group that OU has going into the year. You have Jaleel Farouk, Drake Stoops returning. But past that, your most experienced guy is Andrell Anthony transferring from Michigan. But even then, there's not a ton of production. So with Arkansas State's strength being on the back end with their safeties, I'm interested to see how they'll match up with group of five, obviously, back end, but still a talented group of DBs.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking forward to the new offensive line. Kind of a new rotation this year, somewhat new faces there. Walter Rouse, Savion Byrd, hopefully getting to start full time. Tyler Guyton's another one starting full time. Against Arkansas State, obviously, it's not going to be a very talented defensive line, but still first game. Then also Dylan Gabriel against an experienced secondary. Again, group of five team, but it is a team where their strength lies in the secondary. So Gabriel just getting things rolling week one with kind of, you no longer have Marvin Mims. You no longer have Braden Willis to kind of be those safety blankets like we had a year ago for Dylan Gabriel. So it's going to be a telling game for him to kind of get comfortable with the new faces in the receiver room.
Yeah, I'm interested in the running back duo of Barnes and Salchuk, see if they can kind of continue what they did in the bowl game. And you're right, Dylan Gabriel. I mean, make the easy throws. I mean, that's something that maybe early on and even late last year he didn't make some of those. I don't know if you guys saw the practice report today, but Venables was raving about a couple of throws that Jackson Arnold made, how he threw to the open guys before they even cut out of the route. So that's pretty impressive. And this is an opponent OU should get up and probably get a chance to see Jackson Arnold in this game.
Yeah. Anything less than a full half of Jackson Arnold, honestly, is a disappointment, at least for me. This should be a game we jump out to a lead early, very fast, and let Arnold kind of take over for the second half and have I would think, a showing against Arkansas State with the twos and kind of his first official game with the Sooners, and hopefully is a long career for him.
Absolutely. And I'm excited. There's a big group of defensive 2022 and 23 prospects that hopefully we get to see for the whole second half. But it's not going to be just outstanding competition, but you still want to see them out on the field, getting your first taste of what's to come.
Yeah, I think that's, last year OU rolled pretty early. They rolled Nebraska. They rolled early on the season. I mean, Kent State, they struggled a little bit offensively in that first half. But, we knew what OU had kind of on the defensive side because they're experienced guys, Deshaun White, Aguebu, guys like that. So you kind of were chomping at the bit to see some of those young guys like Canick and some other guys. Kobe McKenzie, never really saw that last year. And I think that is kind of, I know that's what I want to see. And the line outside the wide receiver position, which you mentioned, Brendan, and that's interesting. Mm-hmm. I know Jaden Gibson made a great play today at practice. Mm-hmm. Gavin Freeman, they can't stop raving about. Petaway, Nick Anderson, they're so deep there. So I hope they roll in a lot of guys opening week against Arkansas State. And then the other one is that linebacker position group on who it is that's going to be there the majority of the time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm sure the defense is going to be pretty vanilla. It's Arkansas State. It's a team that went 3-9 last year in the Sun Belt, I believe. And they're just not that good of a football team. But the competitive depth has been talked about pretty much nonstop this offseason, that they finally have it. So kind of getting to see that rotation of defensive linemen, the rotation of linebackers, like you mentioned, because there's a possibility that whoever that starting linebacker may be, whether it's Jaron Canick, Connor Neer, Kobe McKenzie, they're not going to be like last year where the starting linebacker played 100 snaps like Danny Stutzman did all year. It's going to be a constant rotation, so it's going to be interesting to see how that rotation works, how often the subs are made in and out, and who kind of separates themselves while they're on the field.
Yeah, and they do have a Lou Groza Award nominee there at Arkansas State.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see plenty of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
I think I'm good.
I'm just excited. 29 days away from Andre Stevenson, days away from football at the Palace. So it's getting here. It's close. Fall camps, day 2 today. A lot of clips being put out. Venables got that fire back in them. So it's an exciting time right now.
For sure. Yeah. You guys, it's an exciting time to subscribe to the Sooner Surge. Check us out again. Check out our website as we will be putting more articles out. Again, check out Brendan's article on the 47-game win streak. And we'll do this again next week as we continue to break down each opponent on the Sooner schedule. Until next time, guys, Boomer.